WVLE. We're up close and personal with you. Oh, yes, ma'am, she really meant it. But that's our Melinda Kramer for you. You know, she goes where others fear to tread. No, ma'am, thank you for calling. All right, bye. Thank you, Melinda, for creating a monster.
Monster?
Betty, have Jerry handle my calls for a while, will you? Thank you. Ever since you went on the air and vowed to stop the Halloween burglar from making his annual strike this month, these phones haven't stopped ringing.
That's great. You object?
As your producer, no, I don't object because of this response. But as a friend, I have some serious doubts.
Yeah, I know. It was a little risky of me predicting that we would catch this guy. But come on, if our ratings match this response, are you kidding? Then it's worth the risk.
I don't know if it's really worth it.
Linda, hi. How you doing?
Hi, Bo.
Hey, I saw your show. Incredible.
Mr. Producer, Bo Buchanan himself, how's that for a testimonial, huh?
Well, I'm not here just to cheerlead. I want you to know I will do everything in my power to help you nail this Halloween burglar.
Michael, not here.
Bedroom's too far.
But you know, I don't think we finished the business part of our meeting.
What?
You just sit back and relax, and I'll be right back with the specs.
Specs?
Well, you wanted to work closely together. I promise you. You won't be disappointed.
I didn't catch the name.
May we help you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Clint Buchanan, and this is my wife.
I'm Victoria Buchanan.
Victoria?
Mr. and Mrs. Buchanan, this is my daughter. Her name is Victoria, too.
Why don't we explain while we are here, sir?
Yes, please. Well, I realize it seems very strange, us just showing up on your doorstep here, but you see, the reason...
This is sort of an awkward situation for my wife, Mrs. Lasek. You see, we're trying to get some facts on the life of Victor Lord.
My father's old employer?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's right.
Well, I don't know very much about the man, just what you know already. My Johnny used to repair his cars, but if you don't mind my asking, why should that interest you?
Oh, Mrs. Lasek, I'm sorry. Victor Lord was my father.
Your father?
Yes.
Oh, I should have known. Why didn't you say so? You're Victor Lord's daughter.
Yes, that's right. You knew him, right?
Well, I met him a few times, but my Johnny was close to him. Oh, he used to talk about Victor Lord as if he were the Sun King himself. Wait, you remember, don't you, sweetie?
My dad thought the world of your father, ma'am.
Thank you.
Oh, where are my manners? Don't just stand there, folks. Please come in.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, don't be silly. After all your father did for my Johnny. Oh, Victoria, get these folks something to drink.
Oh, I'll be right back.
No, please, don't go. I mean, we don't really want to impose. We just came for some information.
Oh, Mrs. Buchanan, we'd be happy to oblige, but I hardly knew your father, but my Johnny was devoted to him and grateful to him till his dying day.
Did he say why he was grateful?
Why? Well, that's not so easy to talk about, not even now. You see, Johnny didn't make much money then, and we wanted so badly to get married and have children. And
What my mom is trying to say is they wanted me so badly they couldn't wait for the ring.
Victoria, really?
Don't blush, Mom. Times are different. I've always thought it was a romantic story, and Victor Lord helped make it possible.
Well, we're particularly interested in the events of December 1963, especially, well, why your husband up and quit his job and left Landview.
Oh, my. You're asking me to go a long way back, aren't you?
Is something wrong, Mrs. Buchanan?
No, not at all. I always think it's nice when I meet someone with a name the same as mine. How did you come by that name?
Why, Mrs. Buchanan, didn't your father tell you?
Kind of looks like my big brother could use a hand.
Big brother could use 2 more heads and 4 more hands.
Well, I got 1 of one and 2 of the other. They're all yours if you want them.
Very funny. Now get out of here. Gotta plow through this garbage.
No joke, Max. It's a real offer if the job is still open.
Job? You mean like managing the Holden Towers kind of job? The kind of job you turned me down twice? No, you turned me down a half dozen times for that kind of job we're talking?
If the great and powerful Max Holden can change his mind from time to time, why can't his brother? Unless, of course, you've given the position away to someone else.
No. I haven't found anyone half as qualified as you. But, Steve, I'm a little bit confused. The other day when I offered you the job...
I said no, I know.
You didn't just say no. You said... No, I want to strike out on my own. No, I do not want a handout from you or no one else kind of no.
I still feel exactly the same way.
Well, then why the turnaround?
I had a little conversation with myself. I said, Self, if you want to make it on your own, maybe you have to pay your dues first. So that's why I'm here. I think that working for you and with you here could be a great experience for me. And besides, I mean, let's face it, the money ain't bad.
You want to get paid? Here. Yes, when can you start?
When do you need me?
Now. Take this. Sort through this pile of stuff. That way I can still keep my play date with my son.
How does Gabrielle feel about that?
Well, I imagine she's not too thrilled, but we planned this days ago. Look, thanks for helping me out of this. This way I won't spoil my day with him worrying about hotel business.
Well, good. Get out of here. Enjoy your son, and give him a kiss from his Uncle Steve while you're at it, will you?
You got it. Will do. And Steve, whatever the reason you decide to change your mind, you're not going to regret it.
No. Let's hope I don't.
Now?
Almost. All right now.
All I see is a screen.
You'll be seeing a lot more in a few seconds. You're about to get a private showing of my latest line. Lady by Night by Gabrielle.
Stunning.
Why, Mr. Grand, how dare you look at me like this? It's a business meeting, or have you forgotten? Notice the material?
Uh-huh.
The stitching. I'm very proud of the stitching.
You should be.
So, might I say that my partner is satisfied?
Definitely.
This is only the beginning of the show.
There's more.
Or less, depending on which way you look.
Gabrielle, any way that you look at it, your new line is superb. I only need to see one design to know that.
But I don't want you to miss our surest seller. I designed it with you in mind. I wanted to come up with something that I knew you couldn't resist more than anyone else. A night in Paris.
Paris, Rome, Pittsburgh, who cares?
I'm particularly fond of the color. But don't you think it might be a little too risque?
Let me put it this way. I wouldn't want you to wear that to a board meeting.
Oh, but that's the main idea. Women do wear things like this to board meetings underneath their office suit, underneath their silk blouse, and always with high heels.
Really? What a waste. Who will know that she's wearing it?
Oh, she will.
You know, there's a word that describes this business meeting. Torture.
Be patient. I'm saving the best for last.
Really? Well, I'm glad I'm in some reasonable shape then, because I don't think my heart could take it otherwise.
Oh, I certainly hope it can. It would be such a shame if you missed the Fiesta de Resistance. After all, this one is simply called Bare Necessity. So, partner, have you seen enough?
Of your designs, yes.
You know, this silk can only be found from the rarest suppliers in the Orient. You really can't appreciate the texture unless you touch it.
Is that so?
Do you think we're going to turn a profit?
Profit? Over there are more important things than making money.
I can't imagine what.
I can.
This was several years ago. Dee Dee and I, we were still dating, but she gave me a present. Very special, personal gift. It was a pocket watch that belonged to her grandfather.
And the burglar stole it.
Yeah. I always kept it locked in Ace's desk because it was more than just a watch. It represented how Dee Dee felt about me. Anyway, I was getting home late that night from a Halloween party, and there was the burglar running away.
Along with the watch. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but what makes this whole thing so frustrating, I mean, I saw the guy.
You saw him? What did he look like? How old was he?
No, I saw him, but it was late, you know, dark, and it was quite a distance. But the thing that I noticed is that he sort of drug one leg behind the other, kind of a limp. Now, it didn't slow him down at all, but I figured that if I ever see him again, it'll make it a lot easier to know him.
So you went to the police?
Yeah, sure. They filled out the reports, but they weren't able to find out any leads, so I just put the whole thing out of my mind. And then I saw your show this morning.
Oh, Bo, I'm sorry. If my show brought back some painful memories.
Well, no, don't be sorry. The memories, they are painful, but I want to hold on to anything that I possibly can just to feel close to Dee Dee.
I understand.
So, you can use a volunteer?
I'd be honored. Let's start by you telling me everything you remember about that Halloween night, and we'll start with this man with a limp.
Victor Lord was so pleased with the way Johnny took care of his car that, well, they became more than just owner and mechanic. They became fast friends.
Friends?
Well, stranger friendships have happened, sweetheart, like a gardener and the lady of the house.
That's true.
Gilbert Lang was a dear friend, too. In fact, it was he who Johnny first told about our good fortune.
Your good fortune?
Your father's generosity. It's no wonder that we named our little one after him. Victoria is for Victor Lord.
Mama, I'm not exactly a little one anymore.
Well, you are to me, honey, and you always will be, no matter how grown up you get.
I'm sure Victor would be very proud to have you bearing his name, especially if he could see what a lovely young lady you were.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Buchanan.
You know, I really don't quite understand something. Why did your husband quit his job at the garage so suddenly at the end of 1963?
Well, like my daughter said, Johnny and I were in love, and... well, he was proud, and he didn't feel right about asking me to marry him unless he could support us, and then to make matters worse...
Worse? Thanks a lot, Mom.
Oh, I'm sorry, honey. What I meant was that your knocking on the door made life a lot more complicated. I didn't want to pressure Johnny into marriage, but with a baby on the way...
That's when Mr. Lord stepped in, like Santa Claus.
That's the story that you were told?
Oh, I know. It sounds too perfect, but... well, you know your father better than I did. That's the kind of generous soul he was, wasn't he? When he found out about our difficulties, Victor Lord gave us the cash we needed to get a leg up. He called it a Christmas bonus, but to us, it was a miracle. Johnny was able to start his own garage, and, well, with Mr. Lord's blessing, we got hitched, we moved to this town, and, well, this is the final blessing right here.
Was that your last contact with him?
Oh, heavens, no. He wasn't finished helping us. My pregnancy was difficult, and all those doctors and specialists, and the bills just kept piling up. Guess who came through and paid them all?
St. Nick himself, Victor Lord, right?
Mom always said how she wanted to thank some member of his family for all he did for us. Well, here's your chance.
Your father was the best thing that ever happened to the Lesak family.
Well, I can see that.
Oh, but now the least you can do is let us entertain you with some tea and cake. Come help me,
really.
Victoria. We'll show our friends a little Lesak hospitality.
I hope you're not too disappointed.
Disappointed?
Yes, that Victoria is Mrs. Lasic's natural daughter.
But she's not. I mean, that woman is obviously lying through her teeth.
Now what?
Business is business. And I haven't shown you the rest of my lingerie line.
Gabrielle, I admire your ambition. But there comes a time in every venture when you've got to... Now's the time.
Oh, no.
Don't answer it. They'll go away.
Gabrielle, it's Max.
Oh, no, it's Max. He's here to pick up Al.
Well, you can see him later.
No, please, would you go into the den, Michael, please?
I have nothing to hide.
You don't want Max to see us together with me dressed like this, do you?
All right. But don't take too long. If you couldn't already tell, I am a man who does not like to be kept waiting.
Please, hurry.
Thought you'd forgotten about my little date with Al. What took so long?
Oh, so now I'm supposed to drop everything and come running every time you decide to show up?
Excuse me, but we arranged this days ago.
Well, I still think you should have called before coming over.
I got an even better idea. Why don't Al and I leave? Now, is he ready?
Al is next door with Linda.
Again?
Stop shouting. All you have to do is go over there, knock on the door, and tell Linda that...
I don't need to tell Linda anything. I need to tell you this. Why is he spending more time with her than with his mother?
In case you've forgotten, I have to earn a living.
Since when do you dress like this to earn a living? If you're going to lounge around the house all day, why is my son off with a stranger?
Linda's not a stranger.
No, she's not anymore. She spends more time with him than you do.
I don't have to put up with this.
And I don't have to have you forget when I have days planned with him.
Oh, well, excuse me. Now I have to memorize the days of the month when you decide to play daddy? Well, it's just too bad, isn't it, Max? I think you should call before coming over. You'd save us both a lot of grief.
You're the one that's causing all of it. Al is next door. You forgot completely about my day to be spent with him. What the hell's going on here? Something's up.
I don't have time to work it all out for you. Would you please leave?
You seem to be in an awful hurry to get rid of me. What is it? You got to paint your nails or just sharpen them?
Max, I told you I'm working.
At what? In that get-up? You know what that makes me think? Oh, no. No. I don't think it.
Max, please.
Don't bother. I'll go next door and get Al. If and when you want to see him. And if you can find the time for him, call.
Not much to go on, really. A shadowy figure and a bum leg.
Well, it's something. So with Dee Dee gone, this watch must mean a lot to you.
Yeah. You know, I can still picture the inscription that she put on the back. It said, to Bo, with love that time can never change. Dee. Little did she know, huh?
She knew. Time hasn't changed how you feel about her, has it?
You know, I was wondering if I should even come down today.
I'm glad you did. When they first sent me to the sanitarium, I was totally lost. I mean, my whole life up to that point was taken away from me. I was at rock bottom. But you want to know something? I found my own strength because I found myself. And that's enough.
That's more than enough, from what I see.
Well, you have that same strength, Bo. I see it. And for what it's worth, I mean, I was down about as far as you can get. But I survived. And it gave me a strength that makes my faith in myself even stronger.
You know, for me, I think the way to get this healing process really going is to do something positive. And right now, I can't think of anything more positive than to help you nail this burglar.
Well, then that's exactly what we're gonna do. Yeah.
Excuse me, Melinda. We really have to do something about these phone calls.
Okay, can you wait?
Sure.
And then I'll come back and we can plot some strategy.
Okay.
Do you really think she's lying?
Think it? I know it, because I knew my father. He paid very handsomely for loyalty, and in the case of Mr. and Mrs. Lasek, his trust was very well founded. I mean, can't you see what she's doing?
No, I can't. To me, she seems like a very gentle, caring, good woman.
Yeah, that's all part of the plan. For heaven's sake, she's only spouting a story that her husband and my father cooked up 25 years ago.
How can you prove that?
I don't have to prove it. It is so obvious. Victor Lord paid them to move to Pine Valley and to raise my daughter as their own. And in exchange for their silence, Johnny got a garage, she got a husband and a child. Now she's finally living up to her end of the bargain.
I can't believe all that.
I can't believe you're buying her story.
Honey, wait a minute. Let's forget Mrs. Lasik for a moment. Let's forget the fact that the odds against Victoria being your daughter are astronomical, to say the least. Let's say you're right. Let's say you are right. Can't you see that she's happy? Victoria loves that woman, and she loves her home here. Now, do you want to destroy all that?
Daddy, I didn't come here to destroy anything, nor did I come here to take a child away from the woman who raised her. I came to find the truth.
It's the same thing.
Darling, I am very glad that Victoria is happy. I am thrilled that she's alive and well. But she has as much right to know who I am as I do to know who she is. Right? The only way to bring this out in the open is to confront Mrs. Lasek directly.
Victoria's coming with the tea and cake, but I thought you might like to see. Why, Mrs. Buchanan, is something wrong?
At Play School, we know kids love phones, so we made one that even talks back.
That's the Max. I'm Big Bird.
It's memories, Mrs. Lasik. Being here, talking about her father, I think my wife has been touched by it.
Touched. Yes, that's a pretty good word for it.
Oh, I'm sentimental myself, dear, which is why I thought maybe you might like to see this picture I found in the family album. That's my Johnny. And this distinguished man next to him. Well, you know him, don't you? Didn't I tell you they were friends? Oh, you see too, Mr. Buchanan.
Thank you.
Of course, I look like a beached whale, don't I?
No, not at all. You look very happy in this picture, Mrs. Lasik, doesn't she, sweetheart?
Of course, I don't have the negative. You lose a few things in 25 years, but I could have a copy of this made if you'd like to have it.
Oh, I don't really think that's necessary. I assume that's just like all the others.
Others?
Yes, all the other photographs that my father had faked.
Faked?
What my wife means is...
Darling, I can speak for myself. Mrs. Lasik, let's just lay our cards on the table, shall we? And we both know that Victoria is not really your child.
Not Mike. Is this somebody's idea of a joke?
Honey, I really think we should be leaving.
Now, look, I'm not a vindictive person. I have no intention of pressing charges.
Pressing
Vicky, this has gone too far. We're leaving.
No, I'm not going anywhere until this woman tells me the truth, the whole truth.
Mrs. Buchanan, I don't know what you think this so-called truth is, but I know my own child. Victoria is my daughter.
Please, you have played your part to the hilt, but you can stop now. My father is dead, and your debt to him has been paid.
Oh, good Lord, I suffered enough pain to bring her into the world. How dare you doubt that that girl in there is mine?
You're still lying about it even now? I mean, what have you've been lying to yourself all these years? Maybe you believe it now.
Stop calling me a liar.
Vicky, that's enough. We're leaving. Excuse me.
No, I'm not finished.
I'm finished for both of us. It's over, Vicky. It's over. Excuse me.
Mom, what's wrong? Nothing, baby. These people are just leaving.
I'm sorry for any trouble we caused you, Mrs. Lasik. You too. Victoria, goodbye.
Just a moment. Victoria.
No, you stay away from her.
Mom, please. What is it, Mrs. Buchanan?
This is my card. It has my name, my address, and my phone number on it. Will you please call me?
Vicky, now.
Yes, please go. And never come back. Never. Do you hear?
Mom, what happened?
Oh.
sorry. The response has just been so incredible. I half expect the Halloween burglar to call up and say you're on.
Oh, I wish you would. Boy, that would make it even sweeter to catch this guy.
You got a plan?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. And if I say so myself, it's a beaut.
I'm all ears.
Well, all you've done right now is put this guy on notice. Now we have to bait the trap.
What trap?
You say that this guy only strikes the homes of wealthy people, right?
Trick or treat every year, same old thing.
Who in this town is wealthier than Asa?
Well, nobody, but you said he struck him 3 years ago.
Yeah, but who says lightning can't strike the same place twice if there's something there to attract it?
Yes?
Yes, it's very simple. In our own subtle way, what we do is we let it be known that Asa's house is going to be empty this year at Halloween. And just to make it more tempting, we make sure that he hears that there's something of great value being kept there.
Okay, that's the bait. Now, how do we set up the trap?
No, not we. Me. You see, as long as he thinks that this place is unprotected, I'm going to be sitting there just waiting for the guy.
So you're going to take the law in your own hands, huh?
What, just for a few minutes, yeah.
Sounds good to me.
So it's settled.
Oh, just one more thing. In order to do this, we're going to need Ace's cooperation. After he finds out I'm in on it, forget it. Ever since Max and I bought WVLE out from under him, he hates me worse than he does the Halloween burglar.
Okay. Just let me worry about Asa, all right? What I need from you is all the information you've had compiled on this guy. You know, his modus operandi, targets that he likes to hit, anything that'll help us just set the perfect trap.
My files are on my desk. They're all yours.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Just one more thing now about you setting up this trap by yourself. Let's discuss that.
I'm sorry. You're the brains here. I'm the brawn.
I wouldn't count on that, Buchanan. I'm not going to miss all this fun.
Hey, don't bother. I'll find her myself. There you are.
Hey, hi. Did you see the show?
You better believe I saw it. It's a good thing you like trouble, Melinda, because you're up to your neck in it now.
You know, I thought Max was a smart man. But letting go of you has to be one of the stupidest moves he's ever made.
Oh, Michael.
I know. You want to show me the rest of your lingerie line. Well, if it'll bring you back, I'm all for it. What's next anyway? See-through pajamas?
I would love to show you the rest of the line some other time.
No, I think that the present time is the best. I want my exclusive showing before the rest of the world gets a chance to take a peek.
I'd be more than happy to continue later this evening.
Is this all because of your visitor?
Michael, you must have heard everything that he said. It hardly left me feeling romantic.
Hasn't Max Holden hurt you enough already? You're gonna let him spoil the rest of your life?
No, of course not.
Then prove it. Gabrielle, we all make mistakes when it comes to love, but Max Holden should mean nothing to you now.
He's still the father of my child.
That means that your son has to make time for him. You don't. You've wasted enough time as it is.
Michael, you don't understand. When I met Max,
You thought that he would be the answer, that he would give you everything that you need. Gabrielle, I know you better than you know yourself, and Max Holden could never give you what you need. Now, with my help, you could give it to yourself. Isn't that better?
Yes, much.
Good. Then let me help you. This is only the beginning of our partnership. You are going to have everything you ever imagined in your wildest dreams, and all you have to do is reach out and take it.
Michael, you know how attracted I am to you. You do know how much. But right now...
You know, I just remembered I have an important business meeting this afternoon.
And you're not angry?
After that sensational fashion show that you gave me, it's only whetted my appetite for more. Another time, then. We'll, pick up where we left off.
Give me more kinds of bits. In my kibbles and bits. More kinds of bits in my kibbles and bits and bits and bits. And make them meatier. Ooh, meatier. In my kibbles and bits and bits and bits.
Now, Kibbles and Bits and Bits and Bits are meatier, with even more kinds of bits for a better tasting variety than ever.
More kinds of bits in my kibbles and bits and bits and bits.
In Kibbles and Bits and Gravy Bits, too.
Media.
Mom? I've got to ask you something real personal. Do you douche?
I sure do. But only with Massengill vinegar and water.
Why vinegar and water?
That's what my doctor recommends.
For a naturally fresh feeling, only Massengill has 2 vinegar and water douches. Pure, extra mild, and extra cleansing when you need it.
You'll see how clean and fresh Massengill makes you feel.
Massengill, trusted by more women.
Thought you were pretty clever, huh? Just happened to be in my office yesterday for a favor, huh?
Yeah,
And all those questions you asked about the Halloween burglar, just idle curiosity, I suppose.
Before you blow your...
And as soon as I left the room, you went right for the files, classified police reports.
Now, wait a minute. I'm a journalist. I have other sources, you know.
Sources. I saw your show today. There's no way you could have known so much about the Halloween burglar without reading my damn reports.
All right, they were laying on your desk. I stole a glance or two. Is that a crime?
The crime is revealing private, confidential information. You know how close we were to catching this guy? We've been after him for years, but you had to go public and scare him off.
I went public to bring him up. Come on, let's face it. Your tactics haven't exactly been brilliant.
Are you telling me how to do my job? You're a journalist, not a crime stopper. You put him on notice. That's what you did. Instead of playing right into our hands, he may never appear. Or worse, he may change his tactics and hit another town. And just take a guess who's going to be responsible, Melinda.
All right, maybe I went a little too far.
A little.
Well, come on, we're after the same thing, aren't we?
Wrong. You're after ratings. I'm after a collar.
Well, the results are the same. So instead of coming in here and yelling at me, why don't we work together on this, Rafe?
She has a point, Rafe.
Oh, Bo, don't tell me you're involved in this, too.
Sure, Bo would like to see us catch the Halloween burglar, maybe more than we want him.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to help out. Rafe.
Yeah, well, I got news for you, cousin. The Landview PD doesn't need any help. Besides which, the Halloween burglar is not some harmless comic book thief. Has everybody forgotten what happened last year?
I wasn't even around last year.
A civilian tried to stop him on Halloween night. He was practically beaten to a pulp.
We haven't underestimated the danger.
You could have fooled me. What if the guy's packing a knife? What if he's got a gun? What if he decides to take you up on your challenge and decides to go after you?
I'll be ready. Won't I, Bo?
Yeah, we know what we're doing, Rafe.
I can't believe you're in on this.
It's not his fault, Chief. I'm a bad influence.
Fine. Have your last, both of you. But I'm warning you, this guy plays for keeps. Before you do anything else, use some common sense, all right? Just back off, and will you let the police handle this?
Well, I'm glad to see you're enjoying this truck so much, Al. I wish everything was so easy.
Hey, little Al, how you doing, big guy?
Hey, he's in hog heaven, lucky guy.
Well, kind of sounds like his dad is stomping on some sour grapes. Al, you tell him something for me, would you? You tell him I had a chance to look at those books and that winter schedule, and it's not nearly as hopeless as he thinks it is. Hello, Max, did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I heard you.
Well, what's wrong with you? You seem to be pretty happy here, huh, little guy?
Oh, he's great. His mother, on the other hand.
Huh, Gabrielle gave you some trouble when you picked him up, huh?
Let's just say I'm not sure she's quite being the mother he needs.
Well, this is a rough time for all of us, Max. I mean, that doesn't excuse her, God knows, but it's a time of adjustment for little Al, too.
Some of us are adjusting a little bit better than others, Steve. Trust me. Steve, what do you think? Everything's going to happen if I challenge Gabrielle for custody of Al.
Are you kidding? She's going to bare her claws and dig right in. You know Gabrielle.
I'm starting to. Which is why I may not have a choice. If she's not willing to straighten up and put this guy ahead of everything else, I just may have to take matters in my own hands and give him the kind of life he deserves.
Yeah, well, Max, I know you're upset, but before you start thinking about taking her to court...
I know, I got to calm down. I'll try. Come on, kiddo, let's go outside, huh? Daddy needs some fresh air. Come on. Let's go. Let's go play with your truck in the dirt.
You hardly spoke on the drive home.
Well, hardly any point, right? You're only going to tell me that I overreacted with the Lasix.
Honey, I just hated to see your emotions get the best of you. You only caused yourself more pain.
I saw her standing there. No one in the world is going to tell me that Victoria Lasek is not my daughter. I kept staring at her. I was so happy because I thought I'd found her. And then I got so angry when I thought of the time that's been robbed of me. The 25 years that she grew up without me and I without her.
If you can, without the desperation and the guilt, try and look at the facts.
Oh, facts. They're not facts. They're lies. They're phony stories and phony photographs.
No. No, sweetheart. I was there, too, remember? Mrs. Lasik was genuinely shocked at your accusation.
That was part of the act.
No, she's not an actress. She's a woman who tried to raise her daughter the best way she could.
My daughter.
No. No, Vicky. Now, I know you don't want to accept that. And I know it hurts more than all the pain that you had before. But you gotta let it go. You've gotta let it go. The search can go on. But let me and Asa and other people that you trust do it for you.
No, she's my daughter. She's my little girl.
We'll find her. We'll find her. I promise you that. We may make some more wrong turns before we do, but we'll find her. Don't put yourself through that kind of torture again.
Siding with Rafe. We're in this together. Isn't that what you said?
That was before he told me how dangerous this guy was.
So what's a little danger?
I have a vested interest to catch him. You don't.
The hell I don't. Can you imagine the viewers when they see me catching the Halloween burglar in the act?
Melinda, you could get hurt.
Hey, listen, you may have survived Vietnam, but I survived 6 years in a mental institution. Nothing scares me.
Damn, this is serious.
Damn, so am I. None of this talk about going solo. You and I are in this together.
Mr. Holden. Ah, Mr. Grand. Are you having lunch with us today, sir?
Us?
Yeah, you're looking at the new manager of the Holden Towers.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Nice work, Stephen. I must say I'm impressed.
Yeah, I wish I felt the same. I just hate lying to my brother. I don't understand why I can't tell him that I'm working for you, too.
Stephen, it's not as if you're hurting your brother. And you're giving him exactly what he needs.
I know, but it's the way that I'm doing it. I mean, if it's not underhanded to have two positions, why can't I just tell him about it?
Because your brother is a very proud man. If he thought that you felt a loyalty to me as well as to him... Stephen, you'll be doing me a favor. You'll be helping Max. And you'll be building a brilliant hotel career for yourself. Is that so hard to accept?
Boy, not when you put it that way, no.
Then enjoy your good fortune and get on with your work. This is only the beginning, Stephen.
I suppose Holden shared his good news with you.
Fraser, why is it that you always know everything at least 1 minute before I do?
That's what you pay me for, isn't it, Michael? Now that Steve is in his place, can we proceed with our plans?
Patience, Fraser. I still know a few more things than you do. I need to take care of one more little detail, and then our plans can proceed.
I'm sorry if I'm interrupting. The man said I should come on in.
No, that's perfectly all right. His name is Heron. He's not nearly as severe as he looks. I'm so glad to see you again, aren't you, darling?
Of course, yes, of course.
I told Mom I had to run some errands. I hated lying to her, but I had to see you, Mrs. Buchanan.
Well, that's why I left my card. Please, come in. Make yourself comfortable. Darling, would you mind terribly going and asking Heron to bring us some tea?
As a matter of fact, I would. I'd kind of like to hear what Miss Lasik has to say.
She did say she was here to see me.
Well, actually, I'm happy to speak to both of you. Mom and I had a talk after you left, and, well, I want to set you straight about some things.
Yes, by all means. Sit down, please.
Well, Mom was real upset. She said that for some reason you think I'm not her daughter.
Well, what I meant was not her...
Her natural daughter,
yes.
I know. Let me tell you about my birth. I nearly died. Mom has what they call Rh negative blood, and mine is Rh positive. So when I was born, I had this condition called hemolytic disease.
Yes. Yes, I know all about that. I wrote an article on it once. The mother's body makes a lot of antibodies to fight what it considers to be a foreign element, but which is in fact the baby's blood. The child can have severe brain damage, even death.
Yes, ma'am. My dad had the Rh positive factor, so that's where I got it. And I guess the reason why my mom's been so protective of me all these years is because she feels kind of guilty for nearly killing me when I was born. Well, even though it wasn't her fault.
And your blood type?
My blood type is Rh positive.
Just like mine?
Yes.
That's another thing we have in common.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if you'd been my mom, I wouldn't have had to go through all that trouble when I was born in the hospital.
No, you didn't.
I don't know why you didn't think I was my mother's natural child, but now you must see there's no question about it.
Victoria, don't you understand? Medical records can be invented. Details can be altered, changed.
Oh, no, ma'am. I've seen my medical records. I've even discussed them with old Doc Hopkins. He's the one who delivered me. He's still bringing babies into the world. If you want to talk to him, too, I can arrange it.
No, that won't be necessary, Victoria. Will it, sweetheart?
Well, you folks seem so anxious to learn all you could about my mom and dad and what happened all those years ago. Does this help?
Yes, it does. It really does. Thank you very much. And would you please tell your mother that we apologize for any trouble we caused?
Trouble? After all the Lord family's done for the Lasix, I'm just happy I could give Mrs. Buchanan the information she wanted. Well, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Victoria. Goodbye.
It's all right, sweetheart. You can let down now.
I had such hopes. Such high hopes.
I know. I know.
My baby girl. Will I ever find her?
At Play School, we know the most creative fun is the kind you build yourself. So we make Pipeworks to build with, play on, and ride in.
Pipeworks